Hi, my name is Trevor Thiessen. I'm one of the owners here at Redekop Manufacturing. Most of my responsibilities kind of lie in the area of sales and marketing and supporting the growth of the business. My partner, Dean, is the head engineer, does all the design work. So we're going to give you a little tour of how we've kind of assembled and put together this new product we've launched, the seed control unit, just to give you a little bit of insight as to some of the pieces of equipment we use and some of the ways that we have to ensure tolerances and specs are met to make sure it's a good product for the farmers at the end of the day. So this is our robot that we've used for many, many years to build all of our chopper rotors, but it's also now become a key part of the production process for the seed control unit. So as we're putting the rings together that make up the mill that's grinding all the weed seeds, we have to make sure those are all done in a very precise way. And so what we've used is the robot is an efficient and quick way to kind of get all those welds exactly right. If you over weld, you can soften the metal in the wrong spot, which makes a weak point. And it also just allows us to do it quicker, which helps us to reduce costs and keep the costs under control for the growers ultimately. The mill is designed with 3 stationary rings and 2 rotating rings. And so these stationary rings, this is the outer ring, and it's a U-shaped bar, and it's got an abrasion-resistant coating on the sides of that bar, so that as that material is wearing on there, it's got a longer life. The mills are designed to be reversible, so once the one side wears off, we can flip it to the other side. And inside there, you'll see a round bar, which is the rotating ring, and there's 2 of those. And those are really designed to take all the chaff with all the seed material and kind of put it into a disruptive pattern as it runs and powers into those stationary rings. All right, this is our machine shop. We've made a significant investment in this equipment over the last 18 months or so as the business has grown and kind of matured. When we initially started, we were using outsourced third-party companies to do a lot of this work, and they've been great suppliers to us. But of course, at a certain point, volumes grow and it makes more sense to bring it in-house. So we're at a stage now where we can do all of our own in-house machining and all our own press brake. The only thing that we outsource is our laser cutting, but there's lots of suppliers of laser cutting that can do that very efficiently for us. So we can do everything from very small parts, like a simple bushing, which is, we use hundreds and thousands of these every year in terms of our choppers and also our new seed control unit, all the way up to being able to machine the ends of our rotors in a bigger piece of equipment like this. This end of our rotor is where we would attach the pulley or the drive side to, and so we can bring it into this machine and get it down to the tolerance and the spec so that when the farmer goes to mount it up, it'll fit with the pulley that they're using on their combine. And this would be one of the more complex pieces of machining that we do in-house, right? Where to get that precise so that spline can be slotted into the right piece of equipment. This piece is part of the seed control unit. This spins at high speed. If this goes out of alignment or out of kilt, you can imagine that becomes a pretty big mess in a hurry. So L'Oreal has to make sure that none of that happens in the field so the farmers don't get mad at me. This smaller press brake actually has got a robot on the back end, so we can put the piece of metal in that we want to break, and the robot will actually grab and spin it around and do all the brakes on it. So it allows us to do more with less people. Not that we don't want to hire people, but it allows us to be more efficient. And the guys are working hard right now to program all of our small pieces to get this to work for all the pieces of choppers and seed control units that we have to build. Kelly, you want to come start this thing? So this is our large press brake. It's got a very slick feature that allows, Kelly here will demonstrate how we can run through a series of animations. The machine will actually predict what the most optimal way to break the piece of metal is. and it'll run through this series of animations and show the operator exactly where to put the metal, this way or that way, what it's going to bend. This is our balancer. It may not look like the fanciest piece of equipment, but it's probably one of our most critical pieces of equipment in the shop, because whether it's our straw chopper rotors or if it's the rotor in the seed control unit, balancing those is extremely important. A little bit of vibration starts to have a huge negative impact on the back end of the combine or on the seed control unit, and those vibrations, you know, if they get bad enough, can throw all kinds of damage onto the body of the combine. It can throw sparks, and if you get sparks under harvest conditions, we know that's a bad thing. So making sure the choppers and the rotors are in balance is extremely important. It's a bit art, it's a bit science. I mean, we have a computer that helps us with the balancing, but at the end of the day, it's the experience of our operators who kind of get these things in balance in an efficient way. It's a home-built piece of equipment that you know, we worked on perfecting over the years, but we do thousands of rotors every year, so it's something that's an important piece of our manufacturing cycle.